right. See if this technology works. Let's get everybody on here. Move the Discord. Shoot a message. Yep. Yes, just posted the Zoom in chat. Can you hop on and let me know if you see it? I have to mute in Discord. All right, so let me do this. Do voice via Discord, and I'll respond via Zoom. All right, we'll see how that works. Sorry, guys, getting the technology all updated here. And I am not the best technology person. So let's see if this works. All right. Okay, so I'm going to wait for my buddy to hop on here. So I'll get started in a couple moments, waiting for him to get on Discord. Hey, what's up, man? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Oh. Yeah, what you need to do is also join Zoom. So I have to talk just so I don't have two audios going on. You respond this way. So also join the Zoom if you can on another screen, but just mute like your mic in that, and then that way, or you might not even have to, or you could just mute me in that. You might, because you won't have the mic on, I don't think so. Let me know if that works. So yeah, I'll talk via Zoom. I'll mute in here so there's not double audio, and then when you respond, it should not be that much of a delay, if at all.
Okay.
So yeah, just hop in Discord or the Zoom.
The host will let you in.
Ah, for crying out loud! I don't know why it doesn't. Gee whiz! I wish it would just do that automatically. Let me see if I can change that. Are you good with? I wonder why I can. I wonder if I can just. I wonder, does it admit everybody all at once? Let's see if I can just change that. Waiting room, security, passcode.
I have to mute you in here. Actually, can you mute yourself in here now?
Yep. Yeah, I will right now.
Cool. I just want to check that I can hear you now. So can you say something again?
Test.
Perfect. Okay.
So yeah, you should be able to respond back if you do mute, and then like just respond to me via Discord, so I can hear you in Discord. I should be able to. If you mute here, because I'm hearing the feedback now. If you do whatever, like, can you mute me? Is that the reverb? Is that from?
I hear you fine now, and I have.
Okay.
You hear me fine, so we're all good.
Well, hold on one second. I'm hearing, the only problem is when you're, every time I talk, I'm hearing echoing from you.
Okay.
So you have to figure out something to mute me. If you're in, you have two audio feedbacks or something coming in. So you got to figure out something on your end.
Let me, give me 1 second, okay?
All right, let's do this. Hold on. Hey, Ryan, what do you mean, what's not working? The Zoom's not working or your Discord?
Yes, the Zoom is not working. When I choose United States phone up, give me another phone.
To be honest with you, I'm the wrong guy to ask about Zoom. I have no clue how to help you on that one. I apologize. That's a Zoom thing. I am not a techie person, so I have no clue how that is. You might have to try and, yeah, I don't know, to be honest. I wish I did. Maybe somebody in the chat. Yeah, I wish I can help you on that. I'm not a techie guy. I'm sorry. Yeah, so right now, today, it's not a daily stream right now. I'm hopping on right now, trying to do some stuff to try to help you guys out today. So it's not, we're still working on it. So this is not an everyday thing yet right now. I'm trying to help you guys for today and get something going for you guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So give me a second, guys, because I don't know why the meeting didn't just, I don't want people to have to go into a waiting room. Okay. All right, that's probably why. Let me change that. So that may have worked. All right. Get my technology. I'll figure it out here. I think Keith's on. What's up, man? Stone, if you are on, you can hop in on voice in Discord voice and talk to me there, and I'll respond via Zoom. Yeah, I'm the worst with technology, guys. Sorry, it always takes me forever to get going with all this stuff. So when I do, it's pretty good. But yeah, so if you guys want to chat, oh, I see you, Stone. There you are. So yeah, guys, what I'll do is I'll do the live stream. And just so it's not double audio, I mute myself in Discord. But if you want to talk in my ear,
Oh, cool.
there you are.
We usually have to leave audio. Good morning.
What's up? You can hear me okay?
Hear you and see you fine.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. So all right,
Got
this
the
is perfect.
pit
Yeah,
bull going on.
there's really no delay, so that's actually perfect. All right, actually, believe it or not, it's working a little bit earlier than I thought. Can you see me on
Oh yeah,
Zoom?
I see you holding your finger up right now.
Where am I on my screen?
I don't know. You're right above the actual chart right now for me.
Up top? Oh, I guess. Oh, so I
Yeah.
guess with Zoom, is that where you just manually move it? Is that how it works?
I don't know because I'm not much of a tech guy either. That's why I'm being quiet this week, figuring out.
Yeah, I know. I'm the worst with it. Because the last thing I want to do is I start recording and then I'm like recording over my own dang screen because I have it at the bottom right on mine, but
Actually, I'm a little techie. It's just some of this stuff's been a little bit new to me.
yeah.
I'm better in video editing and music software.
Well, I'm trying to get it's
Now I'm trying to learn how to exit an options. Options play. That's been my challenge all week.
Options, allow participants. I wish I just freaking I did this whole freaking thing where I set it up where you guys can. Dang it! I just don't want the like, because I see this whole. You know what? Let me just.
Morning, Casper. Or
Oh,
evening.
wow.
Or evening. Hey, Bruce.
What's up, man?
I'll just let it rip
Hanging
and
out.
because I think. Oh, hello, test. All right, I thought I heard some echo. Yeah, I'll just let it rip because I wanted people to just be able to join in, but it's making me admit them like, nah. Oh well.
It's just how you have it set up. It's just how you have it set up.
Yeah, I thought
My
I
fiance is a consultant and uses Zoom a lot, and uses Zoom a lot. I can't speak. Let my lips wake up.
All right, let's let it rip because I'll want to try to help you guys as much as possible. We have a lot of just so much stuff going on, so I want to kind of give you guys something while I can here. So let me kind of just walk you through kind of the stuff I look at. I use for penny stocks. I personally like light speed. Forgive me if I have my cough drop and clicking and stuff like that here. My voice has been kind of shot lately, but I personally like light speed. for myself for trading, but I have my ThinkorSwim up here because I have two kind of accounts set up, my ThinkorSwim and I have my Lightspeed. But I also kind of like to show with ThinkorSwim because they have a great paper trading account. So, if
Yes, they do.
that's, what I mean? It's just like before you go, I try to tell people like before you go to, offshore brokers or before you go to like, what I mean? Like before you're going to do any of that stuff, you gotta make sure you know how to trade first, right? And so with doing that, it's just hundreds of paper trades. When people say like, obviously, yes, paper trades it's not the same as real money by any means. However, like you got to practice somewhere first. And if you can't discipline yourself in a paper account, you're not going to be able to discipline yourself with a real account. I mean, it's just the way it is. I mean, a lot of people think they can defeat the system, but it's not that way. You really have to discipline yourself in a paper account to be able to do it.
And then
Before you go
TOS lets you trade one stock at a time too. That's a good thing about
Yeah.
TOS. You can
Yep.
do one share at a time. Sorry to interrupt, Lucian.
No, there's no, I mean, please don't feel like you're interrupting. Please do that because I'm just kind of throwing stuff out there because I know, again, anybody that's listening, there's kind of transition with the penny stocks realm. We're trying to kind of get things going. We're just kind of short on moderators in room and stuff like that. So that's where I kind of like when it's popping into my brain now, anything I can kind of do to help you guys in this process. We are going to get to it. I'm not gonna be able to do this every day. I might be able to do it once or twice a week right now until I can kind of get some people to come aboard. So that's where, like why I have my voice and I can talk, I'll let it rip for you guys. And until we can kind of get some people to help out. So again, yeah, so feel free to chime in, all that stuff. I may just let it rip just as I see it, just to hope people can pick up tidbits. You guys, if you're listening, if you hop in, anybody joining the Zoom, if you hop in voice via Discord, you can ask me questions if you do via voice. So right here, it's about 15 minutes before market open. You can use, again, it's kind of your preference, like with higher day scanner. I personally like trade ideas, but you can tweak ThinkorSwim. You'll notice here, like, here's my ThinkorSwim pre-market scan. Sometimes ThinkorSwim, it's kind of like ThinkorSwim will sometimes pick up stuff Trade Ideas doesn't. And then also Trade Ideas will pick up stuff ThinkorSwim doesn't. Trade Ideas is still a little bit more accurate, but it's also a lot more expensive. So let me just kind of move like the Trade Ideas gappers up here. Can you guys see these?
I can see it.
All right. So you'll see the top gappers here. So what I kind of look for is the top volume gappers. And then I look at float, right? So for me, when I say float is not important, meaning like, this is where kind of what I'll talk to you guys about, right? This is a very, very important thing to take in. The big name traders that are out there, the big name day traders, many of them or a lot of them, they're really focused on the low float, right? So the big top dogs are really looking at the high volume and the low float. Low float is considered anything underneath, well, really low float is under 10 million. Low float would be, let's say, under 20 million. So anything under 20 million is low float. Anything under 10 million starts to getting really low float. So when you start seeing, is that 3 million? Is my brain seeing this right? Yeah, that's 3 million. So ideally you want a lot of volume because that's liquidity. You want to be able to get in and out, right? So right here, 17 million, that's probably going to be a really big one, TNXP, that most of the day traders are going to be looking at. And then you start looking up here, this one right here, HSDT. And then so down here, I might keep an eye on something like View or CRM, not as much volume, but obviously these are the top two right now that you can figure that most day traders will be looking at. So what I do is I look at these. Again, doesn't mean you can't look at these or don't. They're not going to pop up, but you just got to watch what happens at open. So you can put these, if you see something like View, I got to pull up the charts, right? So you got to pull up the I'll look at these and I'll show you guys here. I'll pull up the charts. I'll map out support, resistance, what I look for. But remember, it's like when you say like, well, what should I do? How should I trade? Right? Well, that's where it comes into everybody's trading style is different. So, oh, I'm just looking at your guys' chat here. So what I like might not be something that you like and vice versa, right? So I'm going to show you the stuff that I like. You may like it, you may not, right? That's why it's so important to not just like follow some trader blindly. And actually, let me just show you guys
What's going
this.
to happen to your baby, in your opinion?
What's that?
Well, what it became a little bit more clear with some
Joe, we hear you.
Oh, Joe.
the impression that he was younger and had
Oh, is that a Zoom thing? Do I got to mute him on Zoom?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
I don't think he's in Discord unless he's silent.
All
or
right, so I
hidden.
gotta like see how I can. All right, here we go. It's gonna give me a good crash course on that stuff. All right, so I think we're good. Test. All right, I think we're good.
I hear
for
you.
it.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, yeah, a little bit. Yeah, that's my bad. I'm so bad at freaking technology.
I'm trying to mute it at my end. Just a minute.
Oh, no worries, no worries. Hey, it is what it is. We'll go through. I'm used to technology issues. It's just kind of like my thing. But we'll get there. It takes me a while and then we'll get there. But obviously here's a disclaimer, guys. Like basically very simple. Trading's hard, it's risky. Don't follow people blindly. Always practice in a paper account. Never trade with some real money until you know how to. Whatever I show you guys here today, if I show you trades, don't follow me, don't copy me, don't do any of it. All right. Just you got to know how to trade. So I'm going to do the best I can to kind of help you as best I can here today, get you some as much as I can. You know, I like to teach you guys and stuff like that, but also too, it's I don't want to just teach. I want to see if I can show you some setups and what I'm looking for and actually place the trade to show you guys. Please just don't follow me into any trades. I was talking to somebody last night. You know, a customer that just talks about. Actually, let me show you guys this because I'll keep talking right now. Let's actually show you some of this in the pre-market here. Just before I go on my tangents, I'll talk in between. So right here, let me pull up HSD and TNXP first, just to show you guys what I'm looking at. You'll also see right here, this is what I do, right, as well. So I actually have this. I like a multi-chart setup where I kind of look at things. So I'll put symbols that I'm looking at. This is kind of like my watch list, right? So I'll take those TNXP and then I'll do, what was the other one?
It's hitting the 50%, which is
SDT.
there.
All right, still some background noise, Joe.
66%.
Nope, that's Robert.
Bounced a little bit,
Robert.
but kept going. But look where it's going. Where it's going, it's very, very short. Right? Where is it going? Take a look.
Robert
We had
Parker
a
is Laney.
breakout. We had a tight trading.
Bruce!
Okay? And that's
Is this a
what
Discord
Robert
thing or is it?
Bruce 11. So we're obviously coming down to test the low of the trading.
Is
I
this?
hear you. We do this all the time.
Oh,
We
was
listen
that
to everybody.
Rose?
Yeah.
Okay, was that Rose I was hearing in the background? Okay. All right, so
Right?
So
So
that's
this is the trading
oh,
range.
for crying out
Came
loud.
into the trading range. That's the low of the trading range. What is happening here, right?
At least we're listening to something about stocks in the background. That's always
Bruce.
good.
Who is
Can
that
you mute
coming
your
from? Is that coming
microphone?
from Discord or who's that coming from? Discord or is that coming from Zoom?
I think it's coming from Zoom.
All right, so basically I
Yeah, I
have
think it
Zoom.
was coming from Zoom.
Geez. All right, guys, I gotta Casper, this is where I need your
All right.
I need your motivation here because this is driving me absurd.
You're doing good, dude. I'm following you. What's up?
No, I am too, but like my ADD thing, man, all that noise and all that stuff drives me insane.
Oh, yeah,
I
of
got to try to
course.
find out how to edit this freaking thing so people can't keep talking during the Zoom.
Okay. So what are we looking at now? We're looking at the ES, AMC.
Yeah, sorry.
HSDT.
All right, so let me just go over to those HSDT. I'm gonna look at those two for right now, just because and I'll have the ES guys. I'm also having this one up now too because all right, Casper, I think you're echoing.
Should we? Should be better now, right?
Test, test. Yeah, it's better. Thanks. Yeah, so I'll take the symbols and I'll put them
You hear
off to
me?
the side here. So what I'll do is I'll kind of, at some point, I'll move it down and it'll be on my other screen. Again, just gonna show you guys what I like, what I look at. Doesn't mean you should do the same thing. I have the ES down here as well. I might show you this in between because I got my futures set up back up with ThinkorSwim as well last night. So that way, in between, if there isn't a setup, this is what I want to talk to you guys about, right? So there's, let me map this out because I want to show you guys support. You guys see this, right? So I have these symbols over here. What I like personally is when price is above these moving average lines. So when I kind of zoom in, so that's what I'm looking at just to start off, right? I'm looking at the top gappers, the float. I'm not as concerned about the float. However, when I say not as concerned, something that's very, 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 very important to be aware of. The lower the float, the higher the volatility. So when you hear the term pump and dump, the lower the float, that's where the term comes from, pumping and dumping. Pump up, smack back down. So high risk, high reward. So when you see those penny stocks, when they move and they pump up really quick and they dump really quick, chances are that's because it's a lower float stock. If you want to slow that down, you can always slow down trading by looking at higher float stocks. So the higher you go above 20 million, where you start to see 88 million, like these very high flow, you see 956 million, these move a lot slower, lower risk, lower reward, right? So that's a super high one, that 950 million. This one's higher, 100 million. And then you'd look at like something like 50 million's medium float. Doesn't mean they can't pump and dump, but typically that's not the case, right? So like high risk, high reward. So you don't have to, most of the top name traders will look at these very low floaters. But again, I kind of try to boil it down for people as what are you trying to do when you're day trading or trading in general? What do you want to make, right? So, and how much do you want to make a day, right? What is your goal? If you don't have that in mind, you're just going to gunsling and blow up your account. Right. So it's like kind of you look bigger picture. It's like, what do you want to make per year? Boil it down to month, week, daily, and then have that daily goal, not chase what everybody else is doing. And then you have your strategy. And what is your strategy? So let's say, an example of, let's say you want to make, I'll boil it down and show you how this comes together. Just say you want to make $50,000 a year, right? Divide that by 12. That's $4,166 a month. Divide that by 4 weeks. That's $1,041 a week. Divide that by 5 days. So now you have, just say $200. Let's say you want to make $200 in a day. How do you want to make that $200? How do I want to make that $200? How does anybody else want to make that $200? That's why you don't want to just blindly follow somebody else. Do you want to make that $200 by, let's say, buying 1,000 shares and scalping 20 cents? Do you want to do it by scalping 5 cents? Do you want to trade 4 times and make 5 cents? Do you want to do it twice at 10 cents? You guys following me? So like there's several ways to do it. That's why you don't want to just blindly follow it. And just because these are the top gappers doesn't mean you have to trade them. That's up to you. Right? If you want to slow it down, look for higher floats. If you don't see anything that's happening in the pre-market or something with higher floats, wait for the market to open, let the volume come in. So if you don't want to use trade ideas, that's why I'll show you ThinkorSwim as well. Here's the pre-market scan. Well, we can wait for higher day to kick in, right? So you can wait. ThinkorSwim typically takes, 10, sometimes 10, 15 minutes to kick in. So what I do in all this is, kind of when I'm mapping out support and resistance levels in the pre-market and then open, I'm not a big right at the open trader. That's not my style. I like bull flag breakouts. I like flags, right? So in the pre-market, this gray shaded area, I look for these peaks and valleys, right? So I connect as many peaks and valleys as possible, and I let it extend out to the future to see what happens at open, right? I'm not going to get probably all of them right now because I'm getting closer to the bell. But see, I'm just connecting these peaks and valleys right here. Peaks, valleys. And you can say, well, what's it going to do? I don't know. I have no clue what this is going to do. I'm going to watch at open and see what it would do, right? I'll tell you what I like to trade in my setup is stuff like this. So right, you see on my charts here, that blue line's the 9 EMA. The red line is the 20 EMA. And then the green dots are VWAP, pink is 50 SMA, white is 200 SMA. It's all just support and resistance levels. If you want to just boil it down very simply, for me, I like when price is as close to that 9 EMA as possible. And I like flags and little hammers and things right as close to that 9 EMA as possible. Ideally, I like it clean. I'm not a huge fan of like this, like bigger candles. I like when it kind of moves back up, pulls back, and then I'll show you something as it goes along today. I'll show you what I really like if something sets up, but I like it kind of down here. Remember, it's buy low, sell high, right? So if you start just randomly, there's a science to everything with trading. And this is where I also want to show you guys, like, and some people don't want to hear this, but it's price action's price action, right? So penny stocks is no more riskier than in futures, day trading options, penny stocks, tomato, like meaning it's just that's just a strategy. You have to know price action first. Once you know price action, you put the strategy behind it. So a bull flag on a penny stock, futures, or Apple, it's all the same. It's just what strategy you're buying. Are you buying a penny stock behind it and trading it? Are you putting a futures contract behind it and trading it? Or are you day trading options and doing it? If you buy all of it high up here, you're going to lose on all of them, right? If you buy low, that's where, again, kind of want to like dispel the myth of, you know, oh, penny stocks are better or futures are better, all that. Well, I'm going to show you this stuff along the way. You can see right here, right? Hit some resistance, dropping right back down, right? So what I like is when price is above, I like those bull flags. Now, what if you don't get bull flags? If I'm a bull flag trader and that's my best style, if I don't wait for that setup and I trade setups that I'm not comfortable with, then that's why I'll have losing trades, right? Just like most people, because they get caught up in the action. Like, oh my goodness, TNXP, it's a top gapper. I got to go trade it because everybody else is. And then they blow up their account, right? So you got to be patient. This is not my setup. I don't like when this happens like this. I like to see, just to show you guys as well here, see how these moving average lines are trading sideways? I don't like that. Some other people do, right? Again, my strategy doesn't have to be yours. I like see when it separates like this. And then I like it when it goes back down to here. I still don't like this setup. I'll find one that's better when I show you guys along the way. And then, so like even out here, I'm not a fan. Now there's other traders, right? Not my style, but there's other really big name traders in the industry that trade 1 minute breakout candles. And they'll just keep buying the break of new 1 minute candles. Not my strategy, but that's what other people do, right? You got to be very quick. That's why I would use light speed if you're to do that strategy. I wouldn't do ThinkorSwim with that. That's for darn sure. That's the other thing with ThinkorSwim. Super careful with low floaters. Orders get delayed, getting filled and stuff at times with ThinkorSwim. So again, I would really practice with the ThinkorSwim and then use like a higher speed execution broker to execute your trades. But again, like before you go to those, you got to find your strategy first. This, I'm just showing you mine, and then you guys would go from there, right? So you choose your strategy. Don't just copy mine. I want to see separation, right? So that's TNXP. I personally want to see that 9, see that blue, see how they're pinching down like that? I want to see the 9 kind of cross over, start to separate. Once I start to see some separation, then I'd like to see, like, do I get something that pulls back, kind of a flag that goes, and then I would look to possibly get in, right? That's my style. Some people will come in off reversals, off support, in anticipation of this. Other people will go on breaks of highs. I like to see separation, not moving average lines, trading sideways. So that is for TNXP. So you'll start to see down here, right? We'll start looking at some of these too. You see some of them are starting to hit high a day. Let's look at HS
MULN is kind of breaking out and has the pattern you like.
MU on.
Yep.
Perfect, because that was actually one that I was seeing earlier. All right, so yeah, very good point. Let me pull up that one right now. Okay, so MULN. So now, perfect example if you're new guys. So MULN, yep, so it's right up there in the pre-market scan. I don't know why it's not hitting this one yet. Now, just to kind of show you guys, right? Let's pull up trade ideas. Where is trade ideas? So that's what's interesting many times about trade ideas. So you'll see MULN was hitting ThinkorSwim, but look, it's not even hitting. Oh, it's down here. Oh, you know why? Because it's not one of the top gappers. So that's the other thing too, right? Okay, it's a perfect example. So it is down here. So I can, I don't know why it's not. Okay, there we go. I can probably sort of, it's price. There we go. I could have just sorted it by volume there, but then it changes gappers or gap percentage. So you see that? I just kind of resorted it up here. Now it shows. Perfect. Good eye, Casper. So now, so guys, just also showing you too, when we go over here, let me just change this. Oh, okay, shares is right there. Perfect. All right, so it looks like there's low volume right down here on this scanner. So that's popping up. Something seems weird with this one, with the volume. But yeah, MUN, see, it shows shares right here. So that's a higher float stock. Let me just confirm that right over here. Yep, so high float. All right, so perfect example, guys. So this will be a higher move. So see this? This one right up smacked back down. So that's nasty looking, but also look, you see that 164. See how it's only like, it's really nasty, but it's only 10 cents. Meaning like, if this is a low float stock, that could be 50 cents. It could be $1. But either way, you don't buy out here when it's really high, right? So you see the difference with a high float stock smacked up, there's 10 cents. So high, it's lower risk, lower reward. But either way, you still want to buy low, sell high, and be very careful out in these areas, right? So let me take a look at, and the other ones are actually HSDT might be moving. Okay, so now this is where I start to zone in a little bit, something like this. It's had its move up. So there is some reward to it, right? So see how there's 287. You could also put $3, whole dollar amount. Obviously, then I would go to like a daily chart and see where we at on a daily. So you can see that pink line is a 50 SMA on the daily, so 262. So I can put that line probably 262. When I go back, that's right here. You kind of see that line right there, which really, you see how like that daily, it's all, many times it flex right in the pre-market, right around in this area right here. So right in this area, there's that resistance. So now you have, so right in here, so you have that kind of consolidation, these areas right here. 5-minute chart. So also, again, remember, stocks are like rubber bands, guys. When they're really overextended, they want to snap back, right? So it's a matter of when. That's why you got to learn price action and candlesticks. So right here, this is a perfect example of exactly what I'm looking for. Not right now, but down here. You see that? This is exactly what I love right here. So at market open, if I don't get that or something, many times, maybe you wait a half hour, maybe you wait 45 minutes, maybe you wait an hour, right? Or sometimes maybe you trade in the pre-market if there's liquidity and the patterns are there. So you see, this is 100% my, right here is, this is 100% what I would look for. 5-minute kind of pullback like that. See the moving average line separating, 9 EMA, small candlestick off the 9 EMA. And then I would drill in to a 1 minute for entry, right? So when I go to a 1 minute, almost, yeah, literally perfect right here. If you didn't catch it right here, I wouldn't have got in on this candle here, right here. That's the candle I would want. That's exactly, see how it's starting to separate. You had that kind of pullback on a 5 minute, that tiny little hammer, trade a breakout right here. And then you decide when you're going to take your profit, right? So this is where I can't tell you when to take your profit because your style is, are you a scalper? Are you going to stay in longer? What are you looking to do, right? If you get the entry down here, then obviously, you know, you can stay in longer. If you start chasing way out here, it gets a little bit crazier, right? But you see these tiny little candles, small, buy low, smaller risk. And then right here, if you got in at that hammer, 183, you know, even if you sold right here, 218, what a great trade, right? Or you could have waited for the reversal candlesticks. Again, that's why I can't tell you where to trade because what are you looking to make, right? So that's the whole thing is, you know, you could wait, you can get back in, you could look for reentries, you could wait for reversals, but the sooner you get that entry, these smaller candlesticks off support, that's why I like that 9 EMA because it's like that short-term momentum line, right? So closer to here, small candles near support, not big pulls, right? So flag pulls, got to be very careful, higher risk. Now, again, there's other traders that trade these breakouts, but you got to be quick on the trigger, and that's where you'd want to use, you know, hotkeys, stuff like that, right? So you need to be able to get in, get out. So TD Ameritrade, great for practicing, good for order execution, for higher, like medium to higher float stocks. Very careful with low float. All right, so here's HSD. I personally don't like it here because it's, see how it's just trading sideways. This is 100% what I look for. So what am I trying to say? So now, as you guys seeing this now, you have the 1 minute kind of separation, little bit of a bounce, smaller candlestick off that 9 EMA, and then as it breaks out, you're going to have to decide when you take the profits, right? I mean, great move. You could have stayed in here, right? But is this what is this one right here? Yeah, so perfect example. Okay, so HSD. So here's where hindsight's 2020. It's a 4 million share float, right? Or about 4 million. This is shares outstanding, so it's actually a little bit higher than float. So it's even less than that. So this thing's going to be crazy. So to think you're just going to hold like this, it's probably going to scare the heck out of you because when you see something like this, remember this thing, the next candle could just rip your head off and dump. So me personally, if I got in at this one back here, I would have probably taken my profits here because I'm not going to play around with that. So you can say, well, you lost more profit. Sure. But I also didn't get I wouldn't have gotten a dumped candle way down here. Look at these shares. See right here. That's where it shows you. If it was something like this, 120 million higher float, then I'd consider possibly staying in longer. Now we're starting to see some separation here. So now the 9 is crossing the 20. It's getting above VWAP. Crossing that 250. I'm also keeping an eye on MULN. So this is what so kind of showing you guys this, right? Remember I was saying, I like to start seeing starting like this. We see how quick right back down. This is MULN is something I'm intrigued by, but you could also see too, the roller coaster, less reward, right? So 10 cents, you see that there's 10 cents of movement here. Whereas up here, it's a little bit more. But you can see right now, I'm not having my setup. Now right here, MULN is not too bad. Let me take a look at that one.
It's that big red candle in the ES. It looks kind of like
It's nasty.
yeah, kind of like it'd be nice if that would work itself out before jumping into anything.
Well, and that's that's the whole thing too, right? So what are you looking to do? It all comes down to that. So like are you looking to scalp 10 cents, 5 cents, 20? Because a lot of people will be like, oh, that looks crappy. And then somebody might come in and say, just to show you guys, I was playing around earlier. You know, you might, there's other people that just want to scalp super quick, right? So like, you know, this is not my style. Like I said, I like it when it's above, right up over in, let's see if it's that one. Kind of like these, but I want to see that trend. So it's like on the futures, let's see if I can find something. So kind of like this, as it kind of goes up, it pulls back. I would consider it, I still like it kind of above here, typically more here, but that's a little bit more, but futures are different, right? So you're not always going to get the perfect entry kind of with futures, or a lot more. It's kind of like a penny stock in its volatility, but if you wait and you get the right setup, then you can let it rip and ride it for a while, like kind of stuff like, and see if I can get it where it was really above the VWAP. Those green dots are VWAP. Let me see if there's a kind of like this, right? So you see the crossover kind of right back here. So this is like, this is really what I'm showing you here is just whatever you want to, you can take this and just put it to any penny stock, Apple, whatever that you like. This is what I like. Just picture whatever, put any symbol you want here. This is what I like. Crossover above VWAP. Obviously, you still want to map out support and resistance in the past. You don't just blindly take it, but you see kind of a move up, and then you kind of have your flag, right? It's just a bull flag. Move up right here. You can take your entry, and then you can decide, like along the way, like, are you going to wait for a candlestick close below the 9, or are you going to take profit at resistance? That's up to you. How much do you want to make, right? So right here in futures, you know, let's see, what's that? 41.51.50. That's like a $2. So that's $100, right? $50 for every 1 point move. So that's $100. So you can say, you mean, so my point being is take this, and this could be, if I bought one futures contract, I bought and I sold, I might show you guys if there's just a setup I like. That's $100. You see, I did that earlier today. Just made $100 on it. But if this was a penny stock and whatever, let's say this was $3 and then it went up to 3.20, 20 cents, right? It's a bull flag. That's what I'm trying to say is a bull flag is a bull flag. Put it to penny stock, put it to whatever. You still got to know the support and resistance. That's what I try to tell people. Like, it's like a bull flag on a penny stock, futures, Apple, it's all the same. It's just, you still got to get like the right setup. Sometimes you get a cleaner one. Not all bull flags are going to be perfect like this. They're not going to be like, I wouldn't even say that's perfect, but nice and kind of clean. I like that. So if I do best with that, I can wait for them. That's why you don't have to do 10 trades a day or 20 trades a day. Like, what are you looking to make, right? Other people will buy off these bounces off support levels. Not my strategy. Me personally, I get burnt. I do terrible underneath moving average lines. I also do terrible when it's trading sideways or caught up in between stuff. Way out here, you got to avoid it. Buying, but again, some other people will trade it and go really quickly. You know, just like get in and out like in seconds. But as of right now, so this is what I'm doing. So right here, it's 9:46. So in something like me, none of these are my setup. Right? So do I still trade? Do I force myself to trade? That's how you blow up your account. That's what I've done over and over in my life. If I do that, I know that's where I lose mostly. That's what most traders, if you don't trade your setup. So just because somebody else is trading it doesn't mean you should. That's it. So you see this, because everything's kind of falling, moving average line sideways. Now, ES, that's a 5-minute chart. I might pull that up just to kind of see what that's looking at, and I'll pull up some more penny stocks, but you'll see.
I really like what Sig has been saying the last few days, and that's that, you know, no matter what you're trading, you're always trading the indexes anyway, because 80% is going to follow the follow the index. It always feels like it's a good idea to keep an eye on it.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, yeah, perfect example. Yeah, exactly. What we were saying. It's all, here's a 1-minute chart of futures. When I go over to, right, that's a 5-minute. When I just change it to a 1-minute. Right. So you're exactly right. futures, Mullen, right? Below the moving average lines, below over here, below here. Now, does that mean it's done for the day and there won't be penny stocks? No. You might just have to wait. It might take an hour. Right? And remember, like when you're following, like the thing you gotta remember, guys, is like a lot of these like oh, thanks, Ian. I appreciate it. I'm looking at the Zoom chat for you guys right here. Remember what's happening, right? So when you're following big name traders that have big trading services, they need to show you action as well, right? Remember, like P&L keeps you engaged, right? So if they're right off the bat, action, 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 you see it up and down, it keeps you more engaged, more likely to stay, more likely to participate. But it also, you know what it does is it traps new traders into wanting to do what they do, even though they say don't do it, right? That's the game, sadly. But the reality is with day trading, how many trades do you need? What do you want to make a day? It's as simple as that. If you want to make $200 a day, you don't need to make, or again, depending what your account size is, you don't need to make 20 or 30 trades to do it. You know what I mean? Do you want to make 1,000 trades at 5-cent scalps? So that's where somebody else will say, oh, that's a crappy way to trade. Well, who's to say if that's your strategy and it works for you? That's why you don't follow someone else. You might not like the bull flag breakouts. You have a different, maybe you like reversals. Maybe you like buying the tops of 1-minute breakouts and getting in and out within seconds.
SPY just had a really good reversal candle,
Did it?
and I wouldn't trust it though. Now
SPY?
Yeah, SPY had a good reversal candle.
On
That,
one,
or it's like a doji, but it's a long wick, shooting star or whatever it's called.
oh, on a 1 minute or what's
I was on the 1 minute, yeah. Oh
on
shit, I
here?
should actually
The ES,
switch
like the
to-
I have the ES, which should
I should actually switch to the
just to show you guys too while we're at it. I'll pull up SPY right now. You'll see it's gonna be, see how it just tracks with futures, same thing, right? So just kind of showing you guys, like I said, in between here while the action, just to kind of show you this. I don't want to just gunsling and just buy and sell just randomly. That's why I'd like to find something that's actually that I like to trade to not gunsling it. But like you see how this tracks, right? So SPY, ES, penny stocks, they're all in the same spot kind of right now. But what I was telling you at Casper, just like with futures, guys, this is where like one's not better than the other. Like I could you can date, well, again, put all stipulations aside and what size your account is and restrictions or whatever, just all things being equal. If you have an account that allows you to trade penny stocks and futures, I'll show you how simple it really is to do it. When you look at, but it doesn't mean one is better than the other. So you can do both, right? So you can trade. That's why it's you know, like I was showing you the bull flag on a penny stock with or future or whatever you're trading. I'll show you just the mechanics of it, how simple it really is. You'll see right here. This is just ThinkorSwim. ThinkorSwim has higher commissions. Again, not saying I'm just using all things being equal. You can, this is where you can practice exactly what I'm showing you here in your paper account. You know, so I'll show you guys in a minute. Maybe I'll just log into paper to show you, but you'll see it's almost identical. It'll just show orange around the border. But this is how simple, even with futures, and also like I'll just show you the mechanics with penny stocks. It's just the same thing, just different, right? Just different amount of shares. This right here is one futures contract. If I just click buy, so you got to be careful. Don't like with futures. I wouldn't mind. I mean, you can just buy the ask. You're pretty much going to get in, but you could also buy market. Like I wouldn't worry about slippage personally too much with futures, but penny stock stuff like that, low floaters, you got to be careful. Don't.
Hele ding.
Hmm?
Jag kan inte prata. Jag älskar dig. Jag kan inte prata just nu för jag jobbar.
Casper's doing his thing. But literally it's buy, sell, buy the ask, sell the bid, or like vice versa. Like you just buy, sell. That's it. With it's not like options, right? Where you got to choose future contracts, all that kind of stuff. It's literally buy and sell. And then every time, this is for ES, every time this thing moves 1 point. So if it goes to 141.56, 57, 58, that's $50 up or down. So futures will rip your head off. but penny stocks will rip your head off. Day trading options will rip your head off. You know what I'm saying? It's the same exact thing. It's just a strategy. That's all it is. It's just the strategy behind it. So when people say penny stocks are risky and they love futures, that's not true. It's just, if they know what they're doing, they could do the same exact thing with penny stocks, and they could do both, right? So you can literally do both if you wanted to. If the setup's not there that you want, not when in ES or something, you can check and see if there's a penny stock or have something up running and trade in between. So while futures might be doing something or pulling back or doing whatever, there might be something like, right now there's not that I like, but you know, let's say something like TNXP is about to go and rip up. Maybe you went and scalped that, watching for a setup for the ES. Or you get what I'm saying, that there's also like more rewards sometime with certain penny stocks. But it's like, it's just a lot of people like futures because it's, hey, you only got to look at one or two symbols. But you see, like when I'm showing.
Sorry, I really liked, like Jeremy was bringing up, and like this thing, the same thing with Sig was saying, it's like cross charting. You know, even if you're going to trade the penny stocks, it's great to be able to keep an eye on, you know, what the indexes are doing at the same time. One thing which is Sig has brought up before is looking at the IWM, which is the ETF for Russell, or looking at the Russell, and then looking at how it's comparing to SPY and things. And what I've noticed is that it's a great indication of how penny stocks are going to perform. So like if the IWM or the Russell is running ahead of the other ones, then it's usually a really good day for penny stocks. But when the IWM or the Russell is running below, like today, usually it's a super risky day to be taking penny stock bets.
But then it's also too, what is risky, right? So what is risky to you, to me, to somebody else, right? So that's where it's a overall, yes, but then somebody might be like, it's all, remember what's everybody's goal, right? If you're like, hey, I'm just trying to make $200 and you're just trying to get in 5 cents, 10 cents, or whatever, okay, fine. But if you're trying to get those big runners and those big movers, totally, absolutely. So you start to see right here, like now there's some separation in TNXP, just like what you were saying over here on SPY or the ES. See, when I pull up the ES, exactly what Casper is saying. See how they're doing something similar, TNXP, and right here, there's starting to be some separation, starting to kind of move up. And
so that was that thing. It was like that, seeing that reversal candle was a really good indication that it might have been a good time to take, you know, even a penny stock bet. So like if you look at all the penny stock, like TNXP has the same thing, reversal at the same time as SPY or ES, whichever one you want to look at. And then, I mean, everything across the board basically looks the same.
Yeah, that's where it's kind of like something like with, like right in here, like what you're saying too, those days of penny stocks, right? So what's the reward? Is it your setup? Again, my setup, that was maybe it, but it wasn't exactly what I wanted. So if I either miss it or I wait, like, what do I do? Do I kick myself because I didn't make the whole, I mean, this 350, it's 10 cents, right? Great. I could have gone for, or I just, you know what I mean? Like, so what are you looking to do? Right. So
completely. My big problem is that I do way too much just waiting around. Like I'll see something like that and I'll go, hey man, how's this gonna go? And that's what I'm thinking. And I'm like, okay, should I miss that?
Well, but what is that? But it still means is, what does that mean? Way too much waiting around, right? So like if your goal is to whatever, like, so like I said, is if your goal is to make $200 a day and you can do that in 2 trades, well, do you have to be done in a half hour? Can it be an hour? Can it be 2 hours? It doesn't have to be all day, right?
Oh, completely. But I mean, on that reversal candle on SPY, if you had taken that, if we had looked at just TNXP, which is the one that you brought up, like the one you brought up in the morning, that reversal candle on SPY, and then funnily it had a perfect reversal candle on the 20 on TNXP, and that would have been, just buying that one would have been a that was a 30
right here.
Yeah, exactly. So it has a reversal candle. It has a perfect reversal candle on the ES there.
Yeah.
And then TNXP had a 40-cent move after that.
But so then that's the thing though, right? So like, like me, again, your trading style. I am not a reversal trader. I don't have the patience. I don't like doing it. I can teach you how to do it. I just don't like doing it. So, and also it's hindsight 20, when you put that buy on yourself, it's different with real money, right? So it's also like in general, I'm not saying you, just in general, when somebody does it, I can easily show you on a chart, but when you go to press the buy, because right here, when you're looking at that, were you looking back here at TNXP right in here?
I'm looking at, now I have it on the 5-minute chart, but I'll switch to the 1 minute just for the sake of it.
Okay.
So that perfect reversal candle was at, well, actually it wasn't a perfect, yeah, no, it was a perfect reversal candle. It was at,
So you like that
948.
red one?
948. I have it in the 1 minute now.
See, that's interesting. So like, that's interesting because like for you, where you say, so again, some people might find that's a perfect reversal. For someone like me, if I was to do a reversal, I would say, you know, first of all, like this is gorgeous right here. That's not a reversal, but like, this is literally, this is utter perfection. For someone that's my style, especially on a 5 minute, you see that? 5 minute bull flag breakout. Gorgeous. Not as perfect to the 90, but that's like, you don't get much better than that on one of these types of stocks, right? So you got that 5 minute setup. You see that? Just a bull flag. Me personally out here, I don't really like touching it. And in here, I don't like touching it. But there's other people that trade this stuff in between, right?
Yeah, but I
you know what I
mean,
mean?
if you switched up TNXP to a 1 hour, I mean, not that, you know, just an idea, or a 15-minute even, you would have actually gotten that would have been a perfect bull flag also.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Choose your strategy, right? So I'm just showing you what I like. I like bull flags. If I like them on a 1 minute and there's a setup, maybe you like them on a 5 minute, a 15 minute, an hour, a daily. That's where when I do watch lists and stuff like that, guys, like that's all I'm doing. Like I'm trying to find that for stuff for you guys, even on daily charts, right? So that's just my strategy. It's bull flags. Whenever I try to trade anything that's not a bull flag, I get myself into trouble. I'm just not patient. I screw around. I don't like, but remember, what is my goal? What is your goal? If it's $200 a day, like when you break it down, it's like, I think a lot of people don't understand is they're trying to say like, oh, I got to go try to be like everybody else that's out there making $10,000 and $5,000 a day. Well, they also have probably $1 million brokerage accounts, right? You gotta understand, guys, like these people that trade these giant accounts, they're in and out in 2 and 3 seconds, buying like 2,000 shares, 2,000 shares, 2,000 shares, 2,000 shares, 2,000 shares, ding, 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 ding. By the time you watch that person and you get in 15 seconds later, they may have already bought 15,000 shares, just hitting ding, 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 ding on hackies, and they're out in 8 seconds, but they have $1 million brokerage account and they're scalping 3 cents. So meanwhile, okay, yeah, they make $1,000, $2,000, but they, you know, you can just screw the commission fees for if you have $1 million brokerage account.
Oh,
Just ding, ding,
completely,
ding,
man.
ding, ding, you know?
That was really a massive, that it just, all the indexes just flushed.
Yeah, see that? Nasty. And so, but my perfect example, right? Look at this, guys. It's still, that's why I don't love moving average. They just give me an idea, right? That's why I like when they're above them. But if I'm doing reversals, then you can see I like them for above because they're good for support and resistance. But that's where I want the trend above right here. So I start to look right here, TNXP. Now I kind of zoom in on a little bit. All right, so this is when I'd start to consider, right? So do I want to say, okay, am I going to look for a flag? Let me look at a 5 minute on TNXP, see where we're at. It's not as much separation as I want. It's also still on a 5. So on the 1 minute, it's intriguing to me, but then it's kind of, you know, it's getting up here near resistance. But then here's what you also do, right? Connect the trend lines, right? So you have this whole angular support, angular resistance. So you have that channel. Let me look back here, kind of over in here. So this is where sometimes like your brain, you'll see like, for me, it starts to get like cloudy. Like there's, oh my God, there's too many lines. Let me just remove some of these and see which ones are more relevant. I personally don't care about these ones down here because I want them above the moving average lines for me. So I would just kind of like remove these because I want it above this 9 EMA. So when I start to look at this, that's a 5 minute. You could assume $4 will be resistance as well. Let's see where we're at on a daily. Now there's room to go up, right? So there is room, which is nice. So this has, if this wants to run, this has some ability to go. So I'd look at, you could just assume whole and half dollar amounts. So you could just put, you know, just so you can see visually. $4, you can assume 450, right? And then at this point, it's right now, I kind of have my channels and I'm just removing these. So now right here, I can look above if it's going to go. Here's a rising kind of wedge. That's a 5 minute kind of a channel. It's above the 9 EMA. It's a little bit up near resistance. Now I kind of zoom in on a 1 minute and see what's going on. Starting to get some separation, but it's still got this like triple topish weird stuff going on. And again, look at the market and everything's kind of crappy. So like where Casper is saying, it's kind of risky. So this is where if the market was humming and really going up, okay, then I might jump in on something like this. But when it's down like this, it could be an easy trap to catch you. And it is a lower float stock. So this is where you can see, okay, well, that's a bull flag. I can get in on it. Well, do I want to risk it just to risk it when it's still not clean, you know? So I could take it just to show you a trade. I might.
TNXT is it's actually breaking out, isn't it?
Well, almost, but see where it's going. It's right up to the 372.
Yeah.
And also I wanted to show you guys lights. See that? That's exactly why I didn't do it. See that? 100% why I didn't do it. See that trap? It could still go push it right back up, but that's exactly why I didn't do it. And see, now that's 20-cent trap. See that? That's exactly why I didn't do it. Because the reality, because the market's crappy, like I was just saying to you, careful because of fake out. And what did it do? And so now that's a 375 down. Here's a perfect, exactly the whole thing, right? All the patient, half hour into the day. Maybe I'll take a trade. I didn't take a trade. What should I do? You get in that, that's where it tricks you, that little hammer right up near resistance. You get in at that 364. If you didn't take that little bit of a 10 cents, now you're down 15 cents. There you go. Now you're frustrated. You just had a, now you're pissed off. That's it. I mean, that's literally why, exactly what happened. It's a lower float. Of course, it's going to trick you like that. Right. And also, again, I don't, you know, you got to be very careful with ThinkorSwim doing low floats.
I have a lot of these days when I'm just like, especially when I see the indexes are doing bad and I don't take anything. And you're right, but I completely kick myself afterwards. Like I'm sitting there and going, you know, I go back through all the charts during the day, looking and going, hey, look at that 10 cents. I could have scalped that. I could have scalped that. I could have scalped that. But,
yeah.
You know,
it's also
not,
like, I'm like you though, too. Like I'm not a morning open trader. I like when it plays out for an hour or so, because then I like letting these things play out and the patterns play out. Like I said, that's the other thing is like, let the people fight it out. So let all these people, if it's too fast for, let the big namers, you know, again, the big, I call them brokerage account heroes. Let the brokerage account heroes duke it out. Let them fight, do their thing, or whatever. Let the patterns play out and come in later when they're done or something. Come in 45 minutes after, you know, come in at 10:30 if you want. Let the patterns play out. The candlesticks will be smaller. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like with day trading or any type of trading. You can trade open, you can wait, you can let the patterns play out. Like I showed you, I like small little bull flag breakouts. You can start to see right now, you notice like, I don't love HSD right now, but you see how it's starting to look at it, smaller candle, possible flag. Whereas you see it open in the first half hour, I'm not going to get my setup as much. So yeah, I might miss a bigger move. I might make less down the road, but remember if like, hey, if I want to make $200 in a day and a couple 2 cents, two 10-cent scalps, a lot less risky back here if the pattern were to play out and it's smaller. See, that's better possible setup than out here. But other people, like I said, they're just going and they're just trading those breakouts with a quick candle up. What's better? I can't tell you which one's better. What's better for you? Ricardo says, is a $5,000 penny account enough to scalp $100 to $200 a day? If you have a small, like a offshore broker, so you need an offshore broker to do it. Because remember, if you don't, then you have the PDT rule, which you only get 3 day trades in a 5-day calendar day period. Oh, is there no PDT in Canada? I don't know the rule.
Yeah, it's only in the States.
Oh, is it? Son of a
Mhm.
gun. Of course, huh? All right. Well, then that's a sheesh. If you have no PDT up there, lucky you. That's awesome if you don't. Look at the SPY dumping, right? Now watch TNXP right now. Right there, it's near VWAP. So another thing with futures, guys, too, and again, like this is something I can show you, I can teach you, but I am a bull. I can teach you how to be a bear, but I am not by default a bear. Like I just never, my brain doesn't, like I said, I love bull flags. So you can say, just do bear flags. My brain doesn't compute it, or I can show you bear flags, but my natural inclination is to be bullish. But
I was just thinking that when like in a day like this when everything's dumping, sometimes I get a lot of I get plays out of things that I like at this point everything's dumping, and then I look at like just what's not dumping. You know what I mean? So like right now I haven't looked at it, but like view isn't dumping. So then that kind of makes me wonder, like, okay, could that be might that be something that might have like your kind of gold play that you're looking for?
like what did you say? Which one?
VIEW view. I don't know if it is, man. I was just.
All right, perfect. All right, so there you go. Perfect example. So which one's $1.64? How much volume? Oh, there it is right there. Yeah, for the 4 million. Not bad. Higher float, right? So lower risk, lower reward. So this is where, again, you can slow it down. And this is exactly what I'd start to look at. You know, it was a little bit further away here than I would like over here, but you start to look at it over here, right? So you can kind of just map out these areas right here, kind of find your channels. Now, this is where a lot of times that's why I like the 9 EMA, or I can kind of like, I can draw it like this. Oh, okay, see where angular support comes in, or I don't even need to. I could just look at that 9 EMA right here. It's got the momentum. Now it's got to break out here. But if it does, so like now if it breaks out of here 165, you can say, oh, get in. Well, what's my reward? Right now, 1.7, it's 5 cents. It could go up more possibly. I got to look at the other areas, right? Of support resistance. It is above the 50 SMA. It's got some room that it could go, maybe up towards $2. So there is a little bit more of reward, but it might be to get, what the heck here, it's taking a while. You know, so if it breaks, this could be one of those things that just kind of snails and snails and snails and snails, and then okay, and then I'm sitting here for 45 minutes to make 10 cents. You might like that. No problem. But
it looks like it's struggling over that that little swing high. Which is from the change between the aftermarket to the pre-market. But don't you think that looks like something? It had earnings come out yesterday. That actually nothing interesting on the earnings, but it had when it spiked up to $2 like that it might retest the $2 mark.
Yeah, I mean, and then so when you're saying that, like, and that's a matter of, again, do you want to make it? That's where me personally, like, I'm a like scalp 10-cent kind of guy, right? And so it's like, okay, so if I'm trying to scalp 10 cents, do I want to do it? Now, again, you might scalp 10 and you might only get 7 or 8, or you might scalp 10, you get 15 or 20. How long do I want to do it? Do I personally want to sit for an hour to get 10 cents? No. But I also don't necessarily want to try to get 10 cents within 5 seconds either. So it's kind of like an in between. If I can be in for, that's why I like me, I like this kind of look. If I can, this is exactly what I'd like to see, right? So if I can kind of get in something, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now my reversal, let's say I can make 10 cents. I'm happy with that, right? Whereas other people or whatever, like, oh, I got to be out within 5 seconds or a minute. Well, the reality is like, that's why I got to always break it down to the same thing. What are you looking to make a day? How are you looking to do it? And what does day trading mean to you? And what's your setup? And like, the reality is most people have zero clue, no clue, right? Because they just follow everybody else. But it's like, I just showed you my strategy, find your strategy. I don't like any of this. So do I kick myself? No, I could be done. Here's the thing. Let's say if I was trading today, I could say, okay, I'm done for the day. I won't trade. Well, the good news is, guess what? I didn't do a stupid trade and I didn't lose money, right? Or I can say, hey, I'll be patient because I'm telling you, within 45 minutes or an hour, within an hour, something will give me my 10 cents if I'm patient enough. Something you see right here, Mullins, see it starting to move up, possibly getting above VWAP right here. We can watch these other ones. They're kind of doing crappy here, but maybe come 11 o'clock or something, maybe these start to reverse, get above VWAP, and then they have a quick, like right here, you're starting to see here, possibly setting up. Watch and see, watch these other ones or something else might hit. Whereas everybody else got frustrated playing this. You wait, here we go.
Agarrarlo, matarlo, y lo comemos. Ahorrar dinero.
Is that Zoom? Do I need to mute Zoom? I got to figure this out.
Yeah, it's
Anybody
Zoom.
know how to mute in Zoom? I have my thing up in Zoom, but I don't even know how to. I started a meeting, but I don't know what the heck I did wrong here.
I don't see the settings for it, man.
Yeah, Ian said you could, but I don't know where. All right, so now kind of, so you can see
I think if-
Mullen.
I think maybe if you click on the member's name, maybe you might be able to like right click them and mute them.
Yeah, that's in Discord. I'm not
Pensar
sure.
lo que vas a decir, porque yo no quiero escuchar locuras, ¿ok?
De la tarjeta. Quiero que me compre 2 rollos jalapeño de jabarte jalapeño. Porque
No, solo tenemos queso.
Meeting
No.
info, security settings.
I don't care. Just fucking queso. Tienes
Oh.
queso.
esto no dura ni 2 días.
Solo voy a ir a comprar y vamos a hacer esto.
So I don't know if we can just like talk over them a little bit, but MULN
Stop.
is all. I don't want to, I'm not saying this to you. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's
So it's like,
overextended.
it's approaching that, what would that be? It'd be the 50-minute range. And usually I like, I think that was from Scott talking about it before,
Mhm.
is that he talked, well, actually, he's the one who got me to pull up the 15-minute range on my charts. And I've noticed that like really it's like such a significant, nice area that, if you can just break through that 15-minute range,
Mhm.
it's usually a good indication. I mean, even in a crappy market like this, like for me, looking at what the market's doing, it makes me go, hey, you know what? Maybe it's better to sit in my hands for a little bit. But at the same time, I like keeping my eye on the stuff that breaks out of that 15-minute range, just for the sake of it,
Yep. I mean, again, whatever your style is, you know what I mean? It's for me, like if I'm trying to get that 10-cent move, I'm looking for the setup and it's either going to go my way or I get the heck out quickly. You know what I mean? And I'm not a fan of like being in and out in seconds. I like to try to be in, if I can be in a minute or two, okay, great. I start to
So when you're
like,
looking at setups, I mean, it's like bull flags. That's a setup.
that's for me, that's 100%. Everything I look at for someone like me, I try to clear out all the noise and I literally look at bull flags. So like I would just go to like so right now, here's a perfect example, right? So, okay, so MULN might be intriguing. Let it break out, pull back. I'm waiting for this. Remember, I'm also waiting for those moving average lines to separate. I want that. So a lot of times I'll let it break out and then you see how it's starting to separate here. So, for someone like me, I just might let it separate, get way up here, really cross, pull back, and then it gives me that separation, possible flag. Then I'll look to kind of enter. I just don't have the patience and I just don't like that stuff. So that's why I want to see that kind of that clear move of like even down, like right here, like boom, that's about to go. So right here, if you're in right here, it's either going to break out or it's not, right? I don't want to just sit here and just play this roller coaster forever. That's just me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. Oh, right over here. Let's see back with TNXP. Might go back to, oops, 2 people.
I just feel like those kind of breakouts where it's really clean like that, those usually happen in the pre-market.
Many times they do, or they happen later, like an hour in, right? So right,
Yeah.
like this, see TNXP, like right, this is probably yesterday. So something right here, it's not above the 9, but it's smaller right here. And then like, boom, you can see how it just rides at 9 EMA.
Yeah.
See,
So what would your buy candle there have been? Like just looking at that one, if you had like thought about it.
Well, right here. So again, I would have probably missed it because I would have probably looked at it right over here. So I would have probably missed it. So I don't, again, I have this like kind of, I'll miss a lot of stuff because it's not my perfect entry. But again, what am I trying to do? I'm not trying to make and impress you guys with $10,000 days or $5,000. You know what I mean? This is nice, but it's also not my me personally. I would have looked at it right here. That's where I would have probably looked at it. See that kind of bullish small little candle?
Mhm.
That's where I would have looked at it. And then I would have, so what is this right here? 233. And this would have probably, that would have probably scared me out. So I would have probably made a penny. Or, you know what I mean? So like right here. So this is where, again, something's not gonna, my perfect setup. I waited. Okay, well, I didn't lose. I would have I would have probably made whatever, if there was commissions or something. Okay, break even or a tiny loss. But like, you know, something like right here, I would look at it right here, 242. And then when I'm right here at 247, right? So 5-cent move. Right down in here, I would have probably looked at it again. You know, right here. See this? Right? Like this. It's those. And then I'm looking to, then I would just me personally, I'd be in like this and I'd be out right out here. I'm in over in here and I'm out over here. Right. So,
I see it.
so 240. Now I'm not saying definitely trade this. I'm just saying kind of what I'm looking at. 242 out at 247. Well, if there was no commissions on TD Ameritrade, that's a 5-cent move, 1,000 shares, $50. Back in over here, 246.47 out at 250. Okay. But remember, would I just jump in right over there? I don't know. Remember, whole and $half amounts, right? So, you know, would that have scared me off? What is it? Lower flow? Maybe, maybe not, depending on my entry. But you see, it's just this. This is all I'm looking for. And then I just put it to whatever your time frame is. And then all you got to do is put the strategy behind it. Do you want to do penny stocks, futures, or day trading options? Right? It's just the strategy behind it. That's why it's not any more risky. It's just the strategy. No price action.
I guess for now, more than the patterns, I actually like I like looking for something like behind it. You know what I mean? That's why I like looking at like cross charting with the the indexes or
see that?
Looking for news. You know what I mean?
So here's a perfect example. So this is where that would have been the best candle. I would have waited, and then now it's like, okay, so I missed it. Somebody else would have taken that. I have lower cojones. So I'll just, for me personally, I'd say, okay, with this one, let it separate. Let this go way up here. Let it pull back. Maybe there'll be some consolidation candles, kind of move up, go slow. Then I'll wait to get in. Remember, it's like, do you have to trade it? Like, this is not my, again, if you don't take your setup, you don't lose. But if you're too patient, yeah, you'll miss other things along. But remember, what are you looking to make? I don't need to take that trade if I'm only looking to make 2 10-cent scalps.
Yeah.
If I had to be done at 10:30, okay, fine. But remember, I'm doing stuff here. What is your lifestyle? What are you doing? When do you have to be done? See that? It's going to go right up. Why is it reversing? It's right below $4 and it's at resistance.
Look
so
at
now
that.
I let
another example when it's like the best thing is just to look at the same, you know, you pick a chart in the morning and just keep your eyes on that one chart. You know, it's like,
I mean, that's why people love futures, right? Futures is one chart. You just look at the ES and just wait for this. You see this right here, guys, it's the bull flag. It didn't get the separation I want, but you see it was a smaller candle. This is riskier. It goes up to $4, a $half amount. It's going to come back down. It's either going to dump and fail, or will there be another bull flag that forms over here? Then maybe I would look at it in anticipation of 4, you know? But it's like, but it's the same thing like with futures. It's like right over here, Moln. You see right here, nah, it's not really a great bull flag, but like you see HDST might be setting up. But that's where, remember I was telling you guys, like, okay, after 10:30, let these patterns form, let them move up, let them pull back right here. Maybe there'll be a bull flag off that 9 EMA after it breaks out. Then I might look at it more, you know, but, or it might not, it might form one right here and just rip past 4. But it's like, again, it doesn't, you know, what are you trying to do, right? You don't have to be in on everything at all times.
TNXP, that was actually a pretty awesome move.
Yeah, it was not right here.
And then, I mean, just not to beat a dead horse, but it's nice to see that at the exact same time as that, as TNXP is breaking out there, all the indexes also had a little turnaround.
And then see these, so like when you're looking, this is the other thing, right? Here's a perfect example. When you get distracted by the top ones, you can miss these medium floaters right here. And guess what? Like 1, 2, 3. See that? 3 bull flag breakouts. So while I was distracted and looking at these top ones, because that's where everybody else is looking, medium floater right here, 230 up to probably right here, 238. So it's 8-cent move. 240 been out probably right up in 249. So 8 cents, 9 cents, and then 250, 54 cents. 8 cents, so 17, 21 cents, 3 trades at 21 cents. That's $210, right? So there you go. That's my $200 on a day. And guess what happens? I'm distracted at the too high float. You see all I'm doing?
That one had perfect hammers off support also.
That's exactly like correct. Right. So that's just like right there. I just showed you my strategy. That's what and look at, I totally missed it. Right. Cause I'm looking at these other ones over here. And that's the other thing too. It's like where it's, like, and also my brain is so terrible. I'm trying to teach you guys and trade. It's freaking, I'm so bad at teaching and trading. I'm either going to trade in front of you guys and it's either going to, you know, do that, or I'm going to show you this. And that's where I'm trying to, guys, I wish I could do I would do more of this. If you guys, whatever you guys are, whether you're spiritual or the earth, whatever you feel, send some positive something my way so I can get out of the way of like, it's just get out of these crazy crappy things that keep happening. So then maybe I can do this more and show you guys. And then it's more of like, that's why with today, like as much as I can kind of teach you that's in my brain, that might help you. Hopefully I can do this more for you guys soon. We're not, just so you guys know, I know the penny stocks room, trust me guys, it's not pretty. It's not good right now. We're not letting it go. I need some time to try to get it fixed. So people kind of type chatting, keeping it going, keep the dialogue going until we can kind of get some people into the room. If I get the other rooms fixed, then I can kind of even myself come in a couple days a week and help you guys and hopefully get somebody else another couple days to do it. So, but we want to stay on this kind of stuff, guys. It's the action and like really showing you the stuff. The other strategies are good and reverse all that stuff, but it's like, this is momentum. So like, you're going to see a bull flag or a flag. It's either going to break out or it's not. You guys see these? It's either going to go up or it's not, or it's going to fake out and break down. Like I showed you on that other one that just dumped earlier. That's why I like these. It's either break out, get your move, break out, get your move. Again, you might take where you take your profits. Like, right, you can sell them right here. See what I'm saying? It's a move. It's you're not waiting forever. That's why I like it. I'm not waiting for like stuff like the yo-yos, right? So as I'm kind of going through here now, just kind of do this. All right, so here you go. So this is TNXP. So this is very interesting, right? Kind of lower, getting near a top. It's still nearer to resistance. And now you got this yo-yo here, right? So this is where you can get in, but then it can kind of fake out, come right back down. This is where it gets dangerous, right? So now you're going to hit right up near. That's why personally with these two, you got to be careful. That's why I like a light speed and like those higher brokers. But if you're just trading 1 minute candles like this, you see right here, now what do? You know, there's level 2, there's microsecond charts. I was trying to log into my speed trader today, and for whatever reason, I can't get in, or my e-signal. E-signal is what I really like for my microsecond charts, but for their customer service didn't open until 9. And then I was talking to you guys, so I got to get a hold of them. But yeah, the next ones I'll start doing is light speed and e-signal and stuff like that. But it's also like, if I just start showing you light speed and e-signal, most of you guys can't afford to get into the light speed and e-signal. And then it's just like, you don't need to get to those areas until you know how to do this aspect first. You see where you get kind of caught right here? You know, it's kind of up there. It's like, it's right near that $4 marker. So this is, for me, it was like the entry. And at this point, now you can wait, watch, or I mean, just again, I don't like playing with all those. I don't like, see that? That's exactly what I'm talking about. You see what happens? You don't know. It can go up and break, or it can, now you're caught. What do you do? Especially with ThinkorSwim. You see where you're screwed right now? Like, you got to let the minute candle form. It could either dump, go up. This is showing your reversal. It could stay, or you can just kind of go to some of these other ones and just like look for your setup. Like, where is yeah, there you go. Look at this. See this? Freaking Avaya. And that's a big name company. See this? That's it. There you go. You guys see this? So there's entries there. Now it's tougher. You can see it's kind of further away out here, but also it's kind of a little bit on the higher float stock side. So this is where if you miss an entry like this on a bigger name stock that's kind of trending up, then I might risk something a little bit up here because it's bigger name. It's in a crappier lower float stock. So I typically don't like it out here, especially not at a lower float, but I might come in on something like this and say, I'd risk right here, but I won't let it like completely drop. Like if that next candle doesn't go up and it comes right back down, I'd get out. You see how it kind of can just stay up there and it like, so this is a stock I would potentially risk on, but not a lower float, me personally. But then something again, like this kind of goes up, not a perfect flag, but you see right here, bullish candle, 452. There you go. That's my 10 cents. I wouldn't have got, you know what I mean? So like, that's why I like this basic high day scanner. I don't even have to use trade ideas, or just, if you want to just stay away from where all the crazy people and herd are, just look at some of these down here that are still moving. You see that that's 10 cents in at 453. If you're out right here in this candle, 461. Okay, that's 8 cents. That's $80, right? Okay, you didn't get 10 cents, you got 8. Great, do another one. So this is, you know what I mean? So this is just, you see, I'm just applying it to wherever it works for you. Come down here and I just keep going down and see, right? You see those flags there. KOD. Meh, not my favorite there. Now it's kind of meh. TNXP could be interesting. So you see it went up, coming back down, might be consolidating, but it's got all these kind of these spinning tops. So you'll see, guys, I mean, there's not really these perfect ones up here that I like up in these areas. It's 10:30. I can start watching now. Keep an eye on over here. Let me put up those other ones. What was the others? Those other ones that were on the view. See, this is why I like also, guys, waiting a little bit, Because now I can see the highs and lows, and I can see when something's over here. What is my risk or what's my possible reward? Let's say this were to break out 175. It's possible 12 cents at the moment, right? So as I'm kind of scanning through, I look at 434, next thing up would be 450. You know, so if I'm kind of scanning through, I like, see how there's like define, it's kind of been defined. So right here, this might be moving up right here up to 160, but then it's up to 164. So if I want to get my 10 cents, I want that ability, you know, like if I'm trying to scalp quick, 15, 20, 25 cent potential, not 5 cents. So if I'm trying to make 10, let's say, and I only got 4, it doesn't mean you can't trade it. It's just, I don't want to waste my time. So right now my setup's really not there. You could say, well, there's reversals. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it's like Casper, if you're a reversal trader, great. I can show you reversals. So I would say, okay, watch down here. It's right near VWAP. See if a reversal candle forms, right? So here's a 1 minute. Let's say it breaks above this 1 minute candle. Let's say it holds, right? That's the 50 SMA. Put a line right here, and then you have kind of angular resistance out there, kind of this, you know, watch right here. If price can hold this, if you took a break above here, you could use a candlestick close below VWAP and then use the 9, the 20 and angular resistance as resistance, right? So you can watch here. And like I said, I can show you this. It's just not my style because I'm just not a fan of, do I want to go through the yo-yo? Do I want to go up or down? I just don't have the patience. But you see how this works? It's right at resistance. So right here, if you got at the break, now you watch these candles above. Are they going to keep forming new highs? Is it going to go up form? We'll just watch this one play out just to show you. Medium float.
It has a little tiny death cross, right? I mean, not really death cross because that's the 50 and the 200, but with the 9 crossing over that. So that's actually the kind of pattern where it goes back.
Yeah,
up.
it's a bearish one. Yeah.
It's gonna go back up to the 9 and then it's gonna reverse.
Or it can go to the 9, it could go to the 20, or it can go right up to here, right? I don't know which one it's going to do, or it could go and break out, right? So this is where you could also, like, if you were in it as well, you use this, you could also do this, right? You can do kind of a short-term trend line and watch. Right? This is the stuff where, like I said, I don't have the patience. I just don't like going through it. It just, but again, this is on a 1 minute. Some people might like it on somebody else on a 15 minute. It might be great. What is it on a 5 minute?
Yeah.
You know, so that's where I'm just trying to show you guys. I just like, that's where, like, for me, I'm not necessarily concerned at what something the market's doing or something, whatever overall I can see. Like, if I'm just trying to get those 10-cent moves, I want just stuff like this. I'm in, I'm out. If it goes against me, if it goes up and it reverses here, I'll keep my losses small, right? Right up here, like right here, I would have probably gotten tricked out on this candle. So I would have probably gotten in right over and even over in here. Let's say I got in right here. I would have probably gotten tricked out. I would have probably just sold on that candle. And then it went up. Okay, so fine. So I just either made a tiny gain or I just whatever, broke even or see that? Hear it over here? That's why I don't like just me, but it's not over because remember, technically now watch here. Now you got to watch for a candle close or you can get out like, so that's why I don't play around. It doesn't mean it won't go up, but what was also the 5 minute setup, right? If I look at a 5 minute, well, the 5 minute setup was crappy, right? That's why you got to look at all the other stuff there that it's not just, oh, do something on a 1 minute.
Completely, man. It's like,
Just got your message.
One of the things I always like the guys who always say to me is, and like Sig and Jeremy and Scott and everybody, they always say like price action is everything. You know what I mean?
100%.
You know, all the patterns can be there and everything like this, but in the end, it's just about looking at the price action, which is something that I struggle a lot with. I struggle a lot with before, and I'm getting better. But it's a really different way of looking at it.
Well, just as you said with price action, and I'll show you guys with. So I want to try to keep an eye. Then you see right here, this is one of those ones like TNXP, it like really faking out like, oh, right here, I should get in on that. And then you're like, ah, there's that double top. Is that thing going to smack down on me? You see, like, you just don't want to play those. I just don't want to play that game. And you'll see everything's kind of just messy today. And if you don't get that move right here, you had the move right here, and then it got hairy after that. You see, after that, it's just all this playing around those little candles. This is all the day traders trying to fight over the one little stock. For me, it's like, okay, well, let them be brokerage account heroes. I don't, you know, I mean, I don't need to do that. And do you need to? I mean, the reality is like, if you know, if you don't have these huge brokerage accounts, why are you going to try to play that area? Find your setup, you trade it or you don't. And you'll see, it's just, I didn't see any of my setups. But let's go over, let me take a look at TNXP. Yeah, it's just like, you know, I mean, kind of double trap, triple, I mean, this is the one everybody's looking at right now. So they're going to go try to take it long and the shorts are going to try to short it down. And it's like, but you can trade it. Absolutely. You can use this right here. If this gives a bullish hold and it breaks out, great. You could use a candlestick close below as your stop, or this thing could just go and dump like, just like this, right? So I got to watch this 404 level. If it can't break 404 right here. There you go. Now you got to watch and see, is it going to keep going holding or is it going to smack right back down? That's why, again, with ThinkorSwim, I don't like it. I feel naked on ThinkorSwim with these lower floats. That's why I like E-signal, because I like the micro. I wish I could show you the freaking microsecond charts. It's not letting me log in. I'll try to get that for the next stream. You see that? So there's other people that like, there's some people that like level 2. I like candlesticks. That's why I like my 10-second microseconds charts, because I can see a little bit more what's going on. Other people like level 2. But at this point, you just got to see, you want to see that thing hold above here. So if you were in back here, you want to see it hold above here. If you're not in something like this, you don't want to, you got to be very careful chasing this. Or if you did get in, if this doesn't hold in that next candle, it's got to break 410. You see where it kind of caught? It's a shooting star. Is that going to smack back down? Remember, that's a decent sized move down to 396. That's a 10-15 cent drop if it doesn't break. It could go and break up. There you go. But you don't want to chase it right there either, because you're still buying at resistance. Or if you're in it, you have the quick hotkeys and you're in and out quickly. But with ThinkorSwim, you see, you're kind of naked with ThinkorSwim because their smallest candles a minute chart. So that's where you got to be careful with ThinkorSwim. You got to get your entries right, or else you're just dealing with the yo-yos.
Look at that, man. The first stock you picked in the morning, you picked TNXP at you had that one clocked at about 8:30 this morning. And then you're talking about 10 cents. You would have gotten about almost $1 out of that thing right now.
But it's all of your style, right? So like right here, not my style. This one right here was my style. I wouldn't have done it out here. Other people are, you know what I mean? They're all chasing through it. But like, if you're just going on my style, 359, I'm out at 384. What a great freaking move. 10 cents. That's 359 to 385. What is that? 25 cents. Great. Then I'd be done for that. I could have waited right till that 1020, that one move, and I'm done. I don't have to chase it out here or whatever. But like you see right here, all this other stuff was nothing for me. For my style, it would have been waiting till 1020 to take the trade. If I tried to chase somebody else, I would have been losing money, and then I would have had a crappy day.
If you flip that one to the 5-minute though, it's exactly your style.
Yeah. Yeah, right there. There you go. Exactly. No, right off here. Either one of those two. No. That's exactly
And
it.
that's a perfect reversal. I mean,
Yep.
well, it's not actually perfect, but it's a tweezer off of
bottom,
I think that's
tweezer
your
bottom.
50 MA. So it's
This
like
one's-
no, that's a 20.
Yeah, that's beautiful right there.
Yeah.
Yep. So that, yeah, that's perfect. And then at this point now I'm just like, okay, well, it's too late for me there. And so I can kind of look and say, all right, well, what else is, that's where again, yeah, the 1 and the 5, you don't want to just do off the 1 only. It's, you want the 5.
But it looks like, man, it looks like it would have been better if you had like, and I think there's something to that. I used to look at the 1 minute chart all the time. And that was like the one I was like stuck on. But then after reading, and I'm still not done with it. But I've had what I do is I cross chart. So I have the 15, the 5 and the 1 minute chart up at the same time. And then what I'm doing a lot more is looking at the 5 minute chart. And then after reading this book by Al Brooks.
Yep.
And he basically is just, he uses the 1 minute chart also. But if he's looking for like the patterns like you're talking about,
Yep.
He says anything underneath the 5 minute is just unnecessary. He'll still trade the 1 minute.
Yep.
But he's not looking at the patterns in the 1 minute because he says you get too many false starts and it'll confuse you and it'll make you jump around and you'll just miss everything, So,
Yeah,
it's,
so that's, yeah, exactly. That's where it's,
Fuck you.
huh?
okay. Oh, that wasn't for me talking about Al Brooks. Maybe he hates Al Brooks or something.
I don't know. Al Brooks, people love him. Yeah, so like you're saying there in a 5 minute kind of goes up, pulls right back down over here. There you go, kind of a flag breakout. Then you have like right over in here, you have the whole, again, same thing. I don't want, like you're saying, watch for that pullback on a 5 minute. You got to be careful when it's out over here, right? So let's see that it's right off the 9 EMA in a 5 minute, right here in a 5 minute. Meh, not for me. Kind of meh. Now, okay, so you look right here on view on a 5 minute, possibly intriguing. Are you going to get a 5 minute hammer here? Now this could be interesting, right? So possible hammer. Watch this. This one could be which one is this one? It's kind of a higher float. Possibility for about 10 cents. Right down here, possible 5 minute hammer. Let's take a look at this one. And then I'm like, for me personally, this is where it's like right here. And this is where I just don't like it, right? But there's higher lows forming. If you want to get it, this is where you could, right? You could say, okay, people that like buying off higher lows right up here. Do you look to get in off of something right here? Because it's a higher, like, I got that 5 minute hammer. It's below. So right here, this is where I'm not a fan when it's here, but if it holds here and creates the higher lows and comes up, then you might have a break of that 5 minute. See that hammer right up over in here?
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, I see it.
So that's where it's like, okay, so now you have the setup on a 5 minute, but now it's like, do I have the patience to do it? I might, if this holds and gets bound up, do I want to go through and do I want to sit here? Again, it's a higher float stock. Do I want to sit here for the next 30 or 40 minutes potentially for it to do this? It could just go right up. But remember, even if this thing breaks out, it's a high float stock. So it is. So the good news, lower risk, lower reward. So now you see it coming in. Just for the heck of it, I just might, let's just show you guys. Let's see here. I'm buying higher if I was to do it. You see what I'm talking about? Kind of this yo-yo thing here. So it goes right up. Now it hits resistance. You see those moving average lines. Now it comes right back down.
But check that thing out in the 5 minute. So it hammered right off of, I'm not saying, I don't actually have any preference for this one. I wouldn't risk this one. It hammered right off of the 8, which is what everybody's seeing, which is why it's having a little bit of a pop here.
Yep.
But then it struggled. It's below, it's open, but now it's popping again, right? So for me, it's like, I also use the CCI a lot, and I really like the CCI after Scott, actually. I use it a bit differently than he used it. So when I see something like this one, it's, it has a crossover back up over the 100. So I have it's like I have a safety thing for myself. Like this looks like it could be good, but the CCI is still below the 100. So that for me is like, okay, I'm going to wait until I get that crossover again. Not as like a signal, but like technically it looks okay because of the hammer on the 8, but it just says like I have. So like now I would have lined this thing up on my broker and had the buy button ready. And I would have put the buy at 163. So just over the that big candle that we're still working inside of at 1035. So 1 cent, 1 tick above it. Or maybe actually 164 I would have done, because I would have done 1 tick above the candle, the wick there.
I'm a momentum. So again, everybody's different. Some people limit orders down, that kind of. So me personally, like what I kind of do on something like if I had my setup, see that little fake, like these things. If I get like my setup down over here, the thing that as it's starting to go up, I'll just go boom. I'll buy and ask, and I'm either in or I'm out. Right? If it's a short, like, so that's it's almost. I almost use this as like a hotkey. Not right now per se. I'm not really a fan of it, but like again, it's very tight bid ask spread. If there's a kind of like, if the pattern was kind of holding or something, boom, I could buy the ask, I could sell the bid, or I can, you can change it, but you can buy the bid, sell the ask, you can flip it around. But you see, this is where you see why I like stuff up here. I'm not a fan of going through this roller coaster, but that doesn't mean that you aren't, there's other people that they'll buy this and they'll just stay in it. You see what I'm saying? I just drew the lines, right? I remember I was saying higher lows.
Yeah,
right.
completely,
The
man.
higher lows are still there. I just don't have the patience. I don't like staying in it. I don't know whether it's my ADHD, whatever the heck you want to call it. I just don't like doing it. Doesn't mean you can't. There's other people, like I said, they'll buy these and just kind of staying in it. And then right here, that's a 1 minute. Okay, you could put it out to the 5 minute. You might be sitting here for the next hour, and maybe it goes up to maybe it goes
Completely.
up, right?
There's a fun rule with the support lines that you drew out there that comes from Bukowski. Bulkowski, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's basically if it clears 75% of the flag, it has an 80% chance of failing. Doesn't mean they're all going to fail, but it has an 80% chance of failing if it's completed more than 75% or more of the flag. And they just ran that. I mean, the numbers are from 2018, so it's not completely updated. But I mean, none of his numbers really aren't.
This one, I kind of just wanted just to show you guys too, because even if it's like, now me is high or low, I don't love it, but I just want to kind of just show you guys the mechanics of like, let's see, it's kind of stem. See, it's kind of like, this one could go just either way at the moment, but it's like, I don't have commissions on TDs. What's that? So you see, it's just like, ugh, like this is where I'm saying, like, I don't like just sitting somewhere. I want it to either go and do breakout or not, right? But again, like I said, it's if you want to, again, that's where I'm just on the 1 minute, but yeah, make it on a 5 and you could just be sitting there for a little bit, and then you could just keep doing this for a little while, and then it can kind of come back down, and then it can go back up, and then it can go down and up, and then maybe it just sits here till 12 o'clock, and then it gets a run up to $1.85, and then there's a 20-cent move, right? I mean, it's like, that's where it's right here. View. Go over here. It's a higher float stock. It means it's going to less pumping and dumping, more of a grind. But what's nicer about stuff like this, it gives you a chance to buy stuff like this if you want to and stay in it longer. Whereas a lower float will rip your head off if this, like you get in like this and the next candle could dump right back down to VWAP.
That looks risky, man.
Yeah. The only reason why I would consider showing it to you now is that if it did go against me, I don't want to like practice showing you guys bad trades. It's 2 or 3. Okay, so like I might lose $20 if I bought 1,000 shares. So like just to show you how to principle, not teach you bad habits, but you get what I'm saying. If this falls right now, if I were to buy it, 162 down to 160.
That just looks really, really risky right there.
Yeah, I don't like it. You see what it is? It's just trading in the moving average line. That's why I don't like this stuff. It just gets trapped. Let's see if there's anything I can show you. Futures. Wait, were we looking? Oh, TNXP. All right, let's go take a look at that one.
Wow, it almost hit $5.
All right, so now in the 5 minutes overextended. Let's see this candle right here. All right, so you got that and that. So you just connected the highs of these candles. I think I got that other one. Yes, I just can't do it, guys. It's ThinkorSwim. See what I see? Literally, like, as I would consider it, you see it off the 9 EMA, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna, if I just buy this thing, that's why I don't want to do it. You know what I mean? If I had my E signal up, and but I also like, but that's the other thing too, is I don't want to be in a, I don't want to be in a trade for 3 seconds or 4 seconds. That's just not my style. You know what I mean? But other people, fine, do it if that's your style and you know what you're doing. But it's like,
you don't like being in a trade for 5 seconds.
if I don't have to be, I don't. I'd prefer to be in for. I'm not a 5-second trader. That's not me. So like,
Okay, I
you
see
know,
what you
those
mean.
big name traders, like I want a time. This is what I'm trying to say is I want the ability, again, you don't know what's going to happen until it happens. This is what I like, is I want to have the ability to be in longer, right? Lower floats don't always give you that, right? You'll see like real quick up and down, but like right here, now when the pattern's down here, it's just like will trick you up like crazy. But like, I want the ability to have this so I can ride it up, right?
I understand. I completely get it. Do you set up your screeners also? Because I mean, like if that's a specific pattern that you like, I mean, it's easier to set up a screener just for like, okay, price is above all the EMAs and all the EMAs are in the right order. You know, I mean, like right now.
Yeah, I need help with that too. I was trying, it's a good point. I was doing, I think I have some for, what do I have for ThinkorSwim? I do have a bunch like that, but it's more of like, where is my scanners for these? Oh, it's in my, where the heck do I have them? Oh, over here. Yeah, so I have a whole bunch with like the 920 bearish, bullish crossover. I think above all, moving average lines, 5-minute day trading. Let's see if that's above all.
Is that what? So that's what the screener looks like in sorry, which
I don't like this one right here. Me personally, again, there's so many ways you can just make your mind go absolutely bonkers. What I personally do, like if I wasn't sharing, like if I just opened my broker today as, hey, 10:54, I want to see if I can do anything for the next half hour or so. Here's exactly what I would do. I would just go over here and I would just say, like, pretend I don't even have these up, right? I'll just remove them. Pretend again, let's say I don't want, I'll just leave SPY out. I'll leave ES futures. Now this could be, I might look at futures in a second. So let's just say I open my brokerage account right now. I don't even need, for my strategy, I don't even care what, I don't even need trade ideas. I have my, that's pre-market scanner. I could just do regular, whatever. Oh, here's my high. See, that's the thing. You see, notice that like freaking ThinkorSwim is like kind of crappy at times. Sometimes you just you have to go out of it and then go back in for whatever reason. And then like, you'll see stocks come up, right? So
Yeah.
here's what I would do is I would just go like real quick. I would just take these symbols and I would just go over here. Again, I'm not just trading on a 1 minute. I'm just looking to get a quick gauge at what I'm looking for. And then I'll look at a 5-minute and see the setup. But I can have this up. So you see, I'm just taking these ones right here. I'm just looking at the top 5 for right now. View, what's the, oh, via AVYA. And then
Stock filled.
MULN. MULN, right? So then just like clear the drawings just so it's not like in your face.
somebody has the same broker as Jeremy has.
Where is that?
I don't know. It's that when it calls out, you're filled.
So, okay. So then I look, see what I do? I kind of zoom in and what am I looking for? So TNXP would be intriguing right here. It's right near that 9 EMA. Avaya possibly, it's right below VWAP. HSD. So you see, I want it's right when it's about to, or it's near to get above that 9 EMA. So it's above the 9 EMA down here. It's above it on view, but it's overextended. So now I'd want to watch and see if it retests and holds. MULN, it's overextended. So I want to see it retest that 9 EMA, retest the 9 EMA and hold, right? So this is overextended, possibly right here on view. This is still trading sideways. So that's what I'm looking at a glance. So I would just have this on my other screen and just watch for these, right? Like if the setup's there, and it holds like right here on view. You see, that's what I'm doing at a glance. Now I'm boom, let me go over to view. I type in view. Okay, that's the 1 minute. Let's go to a 5 minute. Okay, and a 5 minute. Okay, perfect. I can map out $2. Boom, done. Here, back here, back here, back here. So now I have an idea. So now, okay, on the 1 minute was really intriguing to me. Now I'm like, okay, in a 5 minutes, very overextended. Okay, well, it's a higher float stock. So I know lower risk, lower reward. So if I was to try to scalp this, if it does, you can see where it's overextended, it's not too far down. Doesn't mean you trade it, but you see how like, I'm not just going off of 1 minute. I wanted to see it quick. And then I drill down to, I'm like, okay, maybe, do I want to play around with that? Maybe not. Let me go look
I get you,
over
man.
here. Now futures, this could be interesting. So we go over to futures, boom, over here, I type in /ES. Okay, now it's above the 50, not exactly the way I love it, but again, futures is a different animal where it's like, okay, it's the market and not some crappy penny stock. And this thing with futures, they move. They're either going up or they're going down. Like there's going to be some movement.
Come up and tag VWAP, boys.
What's that?
Above the little doodly dots. Come hit VWAP. You want the
Which
VWAP.
one?
I know you do.
I don't know. I don't know what they're saying.
Come on, that was 1 minute. That was 5 seconds a second ago.
Stop filled.
Fuck you, man. Fuck you and your little dots.
Hey, JD, you're having a good time over there.
Who's that?
It's JD. Oh, shit.
Oh, is he on the Zoom and then he's listening?
Yeah, he's on the Zoom, but that
Okay.
trade didn't go so good for him.
Ah, yeah. So yeah, it's right at that 9 EMA on a 5 minute right here. So this is right here. Futures right 9 EMA on a 5 minute.
Mhm.
Like I said, futures will rip your head off. What's your strategy, right? You know, that's the whole thing of what is your strategy? 5 minute, I would go into a 1 minute. And you can see, okay, it might be setting up. But remember, this is like 41,112. So right here, that's 9, 10. That's 3 moves. That's $150 in this one candle if you just bought one contract. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
This,
but you know,
rip your head off.
the thing is that, like, I to be honest with you, man, that's the hindsight trading, and just like trying to figure out future trades from looking at what you could have done in the past is a really it's funny. So I was actually reading about this and I saw some numbers on it. And the thing is, when you do hindsight trading and you look at like, how would I trade in this situation for these things that spiked? What you don't see is how many times that pattern fails, you know?
But
So what it does
again,
is-
it still goes back to what we were talking about earlier. What are you looking to trade, right? So what are you looking to make? Because like right now, I don't like this right now, but like this one can't, not that one, but let's go back to like one that's say I like, right? Let's see, not my favorite. It's an inverted hammer, but right here, like, what is that? One, you got to see what you're risking, right? So
but now,
41.54.
but now we're hindsight trading again. You know what I mean?
Well, but
We have to,
I'm
like-
saying to go to the future, right? You still have to take what I'm showing you here now to go out to the future. What I'm trying to show you even over here at this candle he was looking at right here or talking about, I'm just showing you what's in that candle. This is where I'm
Yeah.
saying you can rip your head
I
out.
see what
Just
you
like
mean.
it's not
I
as more.
didn't- I'm sorry,
futures
I
is
didn't mean to
not.
sound really-
Yeah, no worries. Like I would argue futures is more risky than penny stocks. You say what?
Well, yeah, because the
duh, I
leverage.
mean, like look at the risk in
leverage
this.
will
Like
screw
that
you.
one candle, if you had one contract, is $150, you know, fit 3 points, that's $150. Whereas like I showed you the penny stocks where you wouldn't. So that's what I'm saying. You buy this right up here, you'll blow up your, look at it right here. You bought it up here, 41. Look at that. So now it's, let's say you bought it up here at 41.12 and it's 411, almost 10 points less. That's what's that? 10 times 50, that's what, $500 loss.
Yeah.
That's a $500 loss in one option, in one contract. You know what I mean? So it's not, futures is not safer than penny stocks. It's just the same thing. If you buy high and you sell low, you're going to get your head ripped off, just like vice versa. So that's where I just like to show, and that's where a perfect example. If you day traded whatever Apple up here and you, whatever options, you know, your day trade, it's going to rip your head off. You just got screwed. That's why it's no risk. It's price action. But if you find the bull flag, and then that's why I like the bull, you know, it's not the perfect, but you get what I'm saying. Like the stuff I'm showing you, something that's gonna either go or it's not.
Completely, man. I get
Go
it.
or not.
Yeah.
So let's see if there's anything.
Man, I think we're actually just so you know. I mean, we can keep streaming, but you're way
It's after-
over.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to give you, like I said, guys, it's like that's why I was telling you earlier, buddy. I'm like, when I can give it, I can give it, you know?
Well, save some for tomorrow.
Well, jeez. Am I gonna have to have a morning call with you every day to like get me?
It's all good.
I got bullshit I gotta deal with today. Like these people, like just.
Listen, man, I think I'm actually gonna. I have. I'd only booked the slot up to 5. I have my. I need to make dinner for my kids.
All right.
But
Later, buddy.
All right. Later, man.
Later, peeps.